Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how easy it is to record great sounding indie guitar simply by plugging into the front of the Clarett 2Pre interface. I'll also show you how to record the DI and a mic'd amplifier simultaneously to give you more options on mixdown. We'll be using a variety of different plugins to show you the exceptional low latency throughout the recording process. Today I'm going to be playing on a Fender Tele with a Fender Blues Junior amp. We've also gone to the trouble of recording loads of drum tracks for you to play and record along to, so make sure you register the interface and download the free sample pack. Plug your speakers into outputs 1 and 2 using balanced jack leads, then connect the Thunderbolt cable, power supply and switch on the unit. So now we've connected our 2Pre to our Mac, all we need to do is plug in to input 1. Now we need to open Focusrite control and change the input from a line to an instrument input. So click on load from device, click on device settings and then change analog 1 to inst. You can also switch on or off air like so. Now we just need to check our level. A constant green level like this means it's not clipping, but if it's too high it'll glow red. So make sure you've got a constant, healthy green signal. Okay, so before we start recording, I just want to show you the latency that you will be expecting with the Clarett 2Pre Thunderbolt interface. We've got my guitar DI'd, and we've also got the vintage amp modeler running with a tuner and a channel EQ, and there's no noticeable latency whatsoever. Also, I'll set up a bus channel going to an effects channel that I've set up here, and I've got the Softube TS-AR1R reverb plug in here and the tube delay here. So when you buy the 2Pre and you register it, you can download the Softube plugins, you can download the Red plugin suite as well, and Ableton Live Lite. So if you don't have Logic Pro X, you can record into Ableton instead. I've also got a channel EQ which is scooping out all the bottom end here of all the sub rumbly sort of frequencies that we don't really need in the mix. And it's best to get rid of those. And I've got a stereo delay effects set up from Logic as well. So if I increase the level going to that bus, you should be able to hear again with no latency. So it's really nice to be able to record your guitar with all of this effects processing on without any kind of interruptions or delay or anything like that to confuse it. So when I'm ready to record, I'm just going to bring that bus level down a bit because it's a bit too much at the moment. I'm going to hit R and I'm going to record my part. Okay, and when I'm happy with that, I'm going to hit Command and duplicate the channel, and I'm going to record the same thing in again. Okay, so now you'll be able to hear two guitar channels that are played nearly identically, a bit rushed, but for the purpose of this tutorial, it'll be absolutely fine. Now I'm going to show you how to increase stereo width in your mix. So we've got two channels that sound like this. And if we just pan one guitar hard left and the other guitar hard right, I'm also going to go into the mixer and bring down the level of the guitars a bit. You'll hear the track suddenly has a lot more stereo width and sounds fuller. Okay, so next I'm going to show you how to record the DI with a mic'd amplifier simultaneously. So we're going to take an output from the Clarett 2Pre and we're going to mic up an amplifier and run the mic into input 2. So we'll just set that up now. So here I'm taking a line out of output 3 to the amp. So I'm going to be miking up the Fender Blues Junior here, and I'm using a Shure SM57 mic. I like placing the mics directly in front of the speaker cone. You can experiment with this as much as you like, but for me I get the best results from the center of the cone. And it's sometimes quite hard to find the center of the cone here, so what I do is use my phone, the light on my phone, to find the speaker, and then I can place it centrally there, about an inch away from the front grille. So now that we've put a mic in front of the amp and we've plugged that into input 2 of the Clarett, we need to send some signal from input 1, or the DI of the guitar, out of output 3 into the amp. So in Focusrite control, we need to go to mixing and routing, and we've got an output of 3 going into the amp. So we need to create output 3, like so, and I'm going to label the inputs DI guitar and the mic, which is an SM57. And in monitor outputs 1 and 2, we want to hear both the DI and the SM57 in front of the amp. And in line outputs 3 and 4, we need to create a custom mix whereby we cut out analog 2, because we don't want to hear a duplicate of the mic, otherwise it'll cause a feedback loop. I've also removed the playback 1 and 2 from this custom mix as well, because we don't want to hear the drums and the other backing instruments going into the amp. So I've killed that as well. So now I go to File, save the snapshot, Focusrite, Reamp, and you can now download this as part of this tutorial. So now we've got our DI and our amp plugged in, and on the Fender Blues Junior I've turned up the reverb so you can hear the characteristics of that amp versus the DI, and now we just need to set some level for this channel. Okay, and now what we need to do in Logic is create 2 audio channels. So I'm going to select input 1, tick the ascending box and type in 2. And this I'm going to call DI, and the second channel I'm going to call Fender. I'm going to record, enable and input monitor on both of those. And on the Fender channel I'm going to add some effects. So some Valhalla Uber mod. And again you can hear there's no latency at all there. So when I'm ready, move the playhead to the right place in the track and then hit record. Now I'm going to adjust the audio and trim the beginning and end parts away from that, and I'm going to fade in the beginning and end as well, just to remove any unwanted pops or clicks on entry of the part. So now if I switch off record, enable and input monitoring, I can adjust the level of the DI versus the level of the Fender so you can hear. And also I can send them to our bus. So that's a very simple tutorial on how to record great sounding indie guitar quite quickly by plugging in to the front of the Clarett 2Pre and by reamping. Don't forget to download everything that you get free upon registering the Clarett 2Pre. So you get the sample pack and you get the plugins and Ableton Live Lite as well. Enjoy making music.